The 10th edition Eldari Codex dropped a little while ago, and in it were some pretty surprising changes, perhaps the biggest of which is to do with the Eldar Wraithbone, and if you have seen the state of various online forums recently, it would seem as if another Hive fleet has hit their craft worlds. With the release of the Codex, GW in their infinite wisdom introduced two changes that were spotted fairly quickly, the first being to do with how the Inari have been changed from being a group whose influence has been grown across multiple Eldar factions in order to save the Eldar race, to now become a less influential sect that doesn't seem to have as much reach as they once had. Gameplay wise, this looks to mean that certain Eldar models can't be played if you choose to base your army around this detachment. A bit strange and very annoying if you play the tabletop, I can't lie, but nothing too damning. But what has really got people riled up is to do with the way that Wraithbone is made. You see, Wraithbone in the new lore has been stated as being made from, and I quote, a composite material formed from various compounds, ores and minerals. Now, this is a pretty big diversion from what we have been previously told, as if you weren't aware, the old lore states that Wraithbone is made by refining warp energy into a crystallized form that can be then sung into various shapes, creating, well, pretty much everything that they have. So why would GW make this very odd change to a race which God knows needs more in terms of interesting lore and aspects surrounding them? Well, some people have come to the conclusion that the reason for this change is so that the Eldar and the Leagues of Votann have a reason to get into conflict with one another. By having the Ors present, it poses the two races having clashes with one another and starting a resource war, thus having classic elf-dwarf hatred dynamic that we see everywhere else. Of course there could be other reasons behind this change, but it does seem to be the most likely outcome. Now this strikes me as being quite harsh to those that do enjoy Eldar lore, as it takes away one of the more interesting aspects that they have. And if it does transpire that the reason for this change was indeed to make it so that the elves and dwarves have a reason to fight, then it feels unnecessary when this conflict could have been focused on other aspects like, oh, I don't know, the Maiden Worlds? I mean, I'm just saying there are easier ways of making them hate one another. Although, saying all this, we don't really know the reason for this change as of yet, or if it will remain canon for that matter. I mean, only time will tell. But what about you? Do you dislike the change, or do you feel that the elves deserved it? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below, but do remember to keep it civil, the Eldar players are struggling once again. Don't forget to subscribe and follow for more content, and I'll see you in the next video, which hopefully won't be about another strange lore change.